The new Young Chefs Academy opens in town. This is Community News. Hi, my name is Paul.
And I'm Lindsay.
Lindsay, are you going to go through every letter of the alphabet now? You were two S's, then you went to a J, an M, and now you're an L. Are you just going to just skip around? Is that how
I'm
it is?
trying to be unpredictable because I thought if I went right to a K and then an L, it's like too boring.
You know what's not fair about this whole thing is people know exactly who I am, and I get accosted on the street for a lot of things that we've been saying recently, whereas you are semi-mysterious. Not everybody is 100% sure. I did say your real name on the first episode.
Right.
I've let you live in your infamy since then and your made-up names.
Right, but I've alluded to my position in the PTA, and I think like that's kind of a tell.
Right. I also think the fact that you've said cunt on here quite a few times lends people to realize who it might be.
And fuck.
Right.
And the verb form, fucking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of fucking, the Young Chefs Academy
That's what she
opened.
said.
Oh,
You're
very
lying.
nice. The Young Chefs Academy opened. I'm not sure if you know what was at the previous location. I don't know if you were there prior, but it was a massage parlor.
Oh, okay.
That was closed down for performing sexual acts
Ooh, I can't
on
believe
their
we had.
clientele.
Wow, that was right in our town.
In our town, right there.
I would love to get a client list.
Wouldn't you?
See whose husbands was there.
I'd like to get a therapist list. I don't need a clients list. Are you kidding? But so now it's a Young Chefs Academy. That really goes from one end of the spectrum to the other.
It sure does.
It really is
That's so
quite
interesting.
interesting. Our town is improving. I mean, of course, we still have the Hi-Ho Motel, who have not yet advertised with us. We're hoping for that.
Which is also like this whole Chef's Academy and Rub and Tug, because it's food and hand jobs, and they both have sort of food and hand jobs
I
available.
did not say it was a rub and tug, but
Oh, you said it was a massage.
I know, but they could have been doing other things.
Straight massages?
I understand. Not that I was ever there, but I
Okay.
understand they performed other services besides rubbing and tugging.
Did they do reflexology?
No, but I know that there are another one opened in town. Is that true?
You're kidding.
No.
I can't believe we can support so many of these.
I think we have as many reflexology places now as we have pedophiles in town. I think it's up to 6.
Oh, wow. Wow. Did the massage parlor do Reiki, or it's not that modern?
I don't even know if they knew what a Reiki is.
That's when you don't actually touch the person. You just put like your energy with your fingers and your hands around them.
No, there was
No,
a lot
that's
of
a real
touching.
thing?
There was a lot of touching going on in that place.
Oh, that's what she said.
Oh,
I'm
look at
copying your
you.
line. You've rubbed off on me, Paul.
That's what she said.
Ah!
So, what's going on in the school? My kids are out of the school now. I know your 2 kids are in the school. We have not filled the gym teacher position yet, but I understand there was another casualty at the school recently.
That's right.
A guidance counselor was let go.
That's right. I heard it was because I won't say who, but one little girl, a preteen. I mean, a tween, if you will. Really, she's a tween.
What does that tween mean?
I think it means in between child and teenager.
Okay.
It's another one of those phrases that seems to become popular online.
Is that
So,
like tweenies or twinnies or
twinnies?
something
That's
like
twinning
that?
when you're like dressing the same. Twinning. That's like hashtag blessed to me.
Right.
Hashtag twinning.
Okay, so
Okay.
getting back. So,
So-
what happened at the school? I
So
apologize for.
apparently now, this is just the word on the street because the PR version is just that the guidance counselor decided to leave. But the gossip that I heard at the last PTA meeting was that she reported being bullied, and the guidance counselor sided with the bully and said that she was actually bullying the bully, even though the bully has a long documented record of being a bully. So guidance counselor was let go.
So there was a bully and someone being bullied, and the bullied was the bullyee. Is that what you're?
Yes.
I'm very confused with this whole story.
You
It makes me glad that my kids are now out of the house and I don't have to deal with this
I'd love
nonsense
to hear the
anymore.
college gossip. It would be much more interesting.
There is, yes, but college doesn't take place in our town, so it's not community news.
Right. Don't you ever get, I don't want to like,
But the community newspaper did have a list. Get your kid off to college, which we'll go over later. Don't
the
you
new
worry.
list. But I don't mean to be negative, but don't you ever find it just confining that like our excitement is just the drama of what's happening at the school or the meth house investigation that you did? Or, I mean, how do you sort of you had this very exciting life as a lawyer to the stars. How do you handle the contradiction in such a busy life? And now,
Well, when you have a total nervous breakdown,
is that what
you
happens?
wind up in small town America to sort of dry out.
Oh, I
And
didn't realize that's what
15 years
happens.
later, here I am. So,
I didn't realize that. Yeah, the slow life,
yes,
the slow
exactly.
life out here.
Well, it's not always slow. I mean, we have a
True.
teacher being fired for bullying. We have a big search out for a new gym teacher.
That's
I
true.
stopped 3 speeders. There's a lot
Yeah,
going on. We have
there
the
is a
new
lot
sock
going
store.
on.
How is that sock store going? Have you been back yet?
I went back and I
Yes.
bought a pair of socks that said, I have mood swings.
Really? Now, do you have moose swings?
Sure, who
Ha-
doesn't?
Have you spoken about that with your therapist? One of the 3 therapists in town.
I have.
Now, have you been to all 3, or did you just find one and you stayed with that one at this
I'm
point?
going to be honest. I tried many, and there are more than 3. Some
Really?
of them are like anonymous therapists. I don't know why you would, I guess they don't need the business. I got fired by one.
You got fired. What happened with that one?
They said I missed too many appointments and I was hard to reach by phone. And I was like, well, isn't that part of my issue? I mean, I have issues. Like, doesn't that follow that maybe I'm a little unorganized or I forget an appointment?
Right.
Yeah.
We are recording this podcast 3 hours late because you were late today. So, yes, I can attest to the fact of
Well,
that.
I mean, but that's part of my, diagnosis. I mean, my disorder.
Right. I forgot your name this week. What is it again?
It's Lindsay,
Oh, Lindsay.
as in Lohan. Lindsay before she became wild. Let's put it that way.
I understand.
Yeah.
So you are Lindsay Lohan, Herbie the Love Bug Lindsay, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I was a fan of The Parent Trap, the remake.
Oh, who didn't love The Parent Trap?
Exactly. I
Who
loved
didn't?
the original, but the remake, Lindsay Lohan did it justice.
Yeah, she really did. Now, I mentioned a community newspaper where we used to work has a list out getting your kids off to college.
Did you find that it matched what you had to do to get your kids off?
It was so simplistic and so ridiculous that I decided that
The
I did not.
perfunctory list.
Right. It was make sure they pack all their clothing.
Okay.
Genius stuff
As
like
opposed
that.
to them going to a nudist con.
Right, exactly. Make sure to pre-package letters for them so they could write home. I'm
Come
not sure.
on, that's
I
like
think this was
sleepaway camp.
all right. I think this was written 20 years ago.
Do
Actually,
they seriously?
Yes,
And
they-
who even writes letters? Do
they
your
put
kids
that
write
in.
letters to you?
my kid has not written one letter to me, and I'm saying any letter of the alphabet has never been written to me. So no, I've never
They
gotten a
send
letter.
you like a birthday card or a Valentine's card?
No, they don't do
Wow.
anything.
But you're in
I get-
constant contact through
I get,
technology.
For my
Texts.
last birthday, I got HBD. D. Happy birthday, Dad. That was the entire. That was the entire message.
It
So
makes me so
everything is
sad.
abbreviated. No, it's fine.
It makes me sad to think when my kids leave, all I'm going to hear is like a few letters of the alphabet.
Right. But you strike me as the type of person who would wind up in college with their kids.
Yeah, I did tell them I'd like to move to the town wherever their college is, and then be one of those people that like rents out rooms, and then
And wreak havoc on their college. So they in turn will have to go. Will they go to the same therapist that you go to when that situation is done? So she's pre-prepared for knowing
Yeah,
what's going on
probably
in
it's
their
not
life.
the best idea, but I once thought about bringing them to my therapist so she could understand, who they are as people. But I thought, that might hurt them in the future. So
They might traumatize them.
Good word. Yeah, I didn't want to give them PTSD. so-
Right, because Lord knows the guidance teacher will not believe a word they say since she's been fired for siding with a bully. So they have nowhere to
Exactly.
turn at this point.
Nowhere to turn. And I've read that I read this in the community newspaper actually, that how to raise a healthy child. And it said every child needs one adult they can trust.
Wow, that is
Profound, isn't
Very
it? Oh,
profound.
we came up with the same
How
word.
did we stay there for as long as we did? That's what we have so much fun on this show, and there we were stifled.
But we did have
You
all
couldn't
those
write
perks.
cunt ever.
Right.
You
We
know.
had perks, which we're building on here. We're trying to get some perks.
Right.
We were contacted by the Hi-Ho, who told us we could come and
That's what she said.
and we could come COME over and have dinner there on them. So that's our first perk of community news.
There we go. So next week we'll be doing a review of the Hi Ho restaurant.
They're really just as long as we stop calling them a hooker hotel, they'll be happy.
Is that all they care
That's
about?
kind of what it is. They don't care how we review the food. Just like, please stop calling us a hooker hotel.
Okay, any other incidents in town? I don't think there were any robberies, burglaries this week, no fires. I think everything was pretty calm.
But I was thinking of taking the train to the city and back just so I could go to these socials to see what they're like. It's a social, meet your fellow commuter, and you bring your whole family, but there's wine and beer provided, of course, because nobody can do anything without alcohol.
Right.
To stave off the boredom. So there's alcohol and food and I guess different local musicians, but you have to be a commuter.
So after that ringing endorsement, I'm sure we'll be welcome there. So next week, you have look forward to our report from the
Hi-ho.
commuter
Right.
party and the Hi Ho restaurant.
Well, how are we going to get into the commuter party? Our credentials from community news, or do we need to take the train a few times to qualify and show our stubs, our ticket stubs?
I think I'm just going to walk in.
And just chance it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And if they
very-
throw me out, I will just go home,
Go
I
home
guess.
and cry in your
That's
soup.
it. Right. I'll open up my own bottle of wine and drink it there.
And talk about what time train you take.
Right.
Are you on the 6:42? No, I'm on the 7:35.
Oh, we can't be friends then.
Oh, the Express. Do you think they're all just going to break into groups of what time
I
their
think
train
so,
is?
yes.
And
Little
then-
cliques.
Right, so that they can get to know people on the same train.
Right.
I think we are providing a really good service here there's no other place in town that provides this service.
That provides any levity or humor at all in this town. So.
Humor is not looked upon well. It's actually frowned upon here.
Exactly, which is unfortunate.
It's weird. How do you get through life without any kind of humor and irony?
I have no idea.
I guess you work at a bank. That's how.
Right. Unfortunately, now all the people who work in banks are now unsubscribing.
Just kidding. Please subscribe, share, like our
Tweet.
podcast. Tweet it, a new word that Paul taught me.
Or Instagram it, or
Instagram
Snapchat it, or whatever else you may be.
Oh, I learned that
Unfortunately-
it's Insta. If
Oh,
you
it's
want to be
Insta?
cool, Insta. I got a question in real life about our podcast.
Go ahead.
Well, you know how that first email was so ridiculous, like, are you guys fucking?
Right.
So at the PTA meeting, somebody said to me, I think you guys should start fucking, which was like, they said we had to take an intermission from the PTA meeting because of that.
I have nothing.
And that's what she said?
Wait, who
That
should
is
start
what
fucking?
she said at the PTA meeting.
You and the woman, the two of you should start? Is that what she was saying?
I don't even know what she meant. I don't even know who
You know,
she
who
was
kno-
talking about. Maybe she meant me and my husband.
Or maybe she meant you and her.
Maybe.
You know what? That's your investigation for next week. You've
Do
got
you
to
think-
find out.
Do you think there's a lot of sex going on in town?
Between couples or between...
Yeah,
Mixed couples or-
intramarital.
I do not know. I've seen a lot of these people in town, and there's no way I would want to be with them. So,
I actually heard someone at a party the other night, empty nesters like yourself. The man was saying how the first year that the kids left was really hard on his wife, but then he was saying now they're hard on his wife.
That's what she said?
that now they've gotten into a groove and that their marriage is better than ever. But then he said, I mean, we're not having sex or anything, but like, that's fine. Those days are over, but we are traveling and, oh God, I think they're going to Iceland and Italy, like my entire news feed this summer.
right. I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of pictures from Reykjavik this year.
Me too. I finally learned how to pronounce it. But he said they're
I think
traveling.
it's Reykjavik,
and
but
Reykjavik.
or Reykjavik.
And they're enjoying it sounds like a concentration camp,
Right.
actually. But they are enjoying each other's company, blah, blah, blah. But I love that he put the side note in, talking to another woman going, we're not having sex or anything, but that's fine. I mean, we're
Right.
older.
So we have next week's report. We have the Hi Ho restaurant.
Uh-huh.
We have, what was the other thing that you were going to report on? You were going to report on
The bullying situation, the
bullying
guidance
situation.
counselor.
Exactly. And you're also going to let me know who this woman is who wants to fuck you. Because that
don't
we're
know
going to
if
put on air.
We're going to get in trouble for saying that. I was going to ask you off air, but I'll just ask you now, if I could bring in one of my fellow PTA members who said she has some comments for us and some feedback.
I would love that. Anytime anyone who wants to join in has anything to say,
Join in. That reminds me of a menage a trois I had years ago with some guy I met in the grocery store. Oh, I mean, I'm just joking, townspeople. I'm just joking.
was that the food fair or was that the Stop and Shop?
The Stop and Shop.
Really?
I'm kidding. Of course I didn't do that. Of course.
Why did you just roll your eyes?
Does it ever make you wonder what everybody's background is? Like, everybody gets to the town and then they just act all, holiday card, family picture perfect. But do you ever wonder, like, who used to be a whore? Who was a playa?
I
Or
try
still
not,
is.
right? I try not to think about it because once again, I've seen the people in this town, and it's too frightening to even go there.
Yeah,
at this
we
point.
can get into this next week. Yeah.
So I think that wraps up this edition of Community News.
Okay, great.
And we will be talking to you soon. We will not be
Seeing you next Tuesday.
Exactly. All right, talk to you soon. And
care.
again, emails, tweets, Facebook posting.
Share, subscribe.
Come on if you want, say anything you want, and we will talk to you again next week.